Of the episode 37 at the main the golf show. No Marv, once again. He does exist in some quarters, but not on the interweb. You'll find him in Telegram
Embarrassed.
group chats discussing crypto.
Should we give his address out so the fans can go find him?
I don't even remember. Is it Brecon? I know you were Brecon Avenue. He was around the corner, right?
Yeah, I had to guess his number for the wedding invite that he won't turn up to, but I'm not sure if I got his house exactly right, but close enough.
Mrs. Milner's getting very twitchy because there's no wedding right round here, and
Yeah, I need to send it to you.
you know what I mean. Can't wait to see the Wilsons. Hi, how's it going? That's a difference. So we're here to look at two golf tournaments. Head won't look about the DP World Tour, which has gone to Qatar from Bahrain. More about Pablo Larrazabal later, but we're here with Scottie Scheffler, favourite for this week's
Waste management.
brilliant tournament, Waste Management Phoenix Open in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's the one with the rowdy crowd, the big green at 16, the huge bunkers, and a couple of the par threes. It's one of the again. This used to be my old man's favorite hole in golf, the 16th, where the college kids are queuing up from like stupid o'clock in the morning out there. They get like is it 20,000 people around that golf hole?
Something like that, and then it's a full-on sprint, right? They open the gates. It's first come, first served. It's like a 5 a.m. sprint to the. I don't know if they're trying to tame it down a bit, but yeah, they get there and they just get wankered. So
Every shot that isn't within like 10 foot is instantly booed. And
yeah,
people turn up wearing their respective college football or NFL jerseys. So I'm guessing there'll be a lot of Philadelphia or Kansas City Chiefs related regala on display. This is now seen as kind of a prelude for the Super Bowl, right?
oh
And
yeah, like
ironically, there's been, I think, 9 playoffs in the last 12 years or something ridiculous when people are trying to get out early and finish with the golf.
yeah. I think the people that go out, I've got no chance of seeing the Super Bowl, but yeah, definitely in America, it's sports betters pre show. Like watch the golf, hopefully hit a winner, and then do all your do all the profit on the Super Bowl and
Your brains, yeah,
length
just
length
spinning.
of
Oh,
the
you spin
national
up
anthem.
accordingly. Like I remember, we Hep and I, we went to a friend's. I say a Super Bowl pie. I think we were the only ones there, apart from his wife. She did make
Yeah,
some wonderful chicken wings, didn't she? You polished them off
of course.
for the Hammonds in 2017. No idea who was even playing in that Super Bowl. You probably know more than I.
There was the Brady comeback against Atlanta when they were
Oh, fucking, that was disgusting.
21 or 3 up at halftime or
They
whatever.
were 4 scores down, weren't they? With about nothing left, with like a half to go.
Yeah, yeah, at
Yeah.
halftime they were down 3 or
And I
4
was just
zero.
more concerned about watching because I backed Hideki at 92 in running and ended up beating Webster in the playoff. So don't care now what the result is. I'll stick money on all sorts of prop bets. That was 8 years ago. Jesus
That's
Christ.
insane. I thought you were going to talk about the Saints Colts one back at.
In 2009,
That's just fucking hell.
round newbies with
Yeah, newbies, that was it.
not even
Yeah,
asked the friends and then suddenly that was me, you, Trout, Marv. Was Widden? Widden must have been there.
yeah, we're
And Marv was going around driving, just beeping his horn because, yeah, fuck off, Bait Manning. Who the fuck do you think you are? A bit of respect, right? You're not Tom. So, yeah, that was
good old
16 years
days.
ago. 8 years ago, we were at the Hammonds. 16 years ago, we're in Huddersfield. And look at us now. Oh, washed up since
Pillars.
doing golf podcasts, even worse. So,
No one's listening.
on that note, at Phoenix Open, I'm sure you, given that you are a man of shrewdness and value, was it 2 points each way on a point each way on Justin Rose last week?
Two each way on Rosie
Two
and
each way on
seven.
Rose, 8 win on Hideki. Place money well trousered due to an eagle at 18. Scottie Scheffler is the very well backed 3-1 best price now market leader for the Phoenix Open. He's looking for not quite a three-peat. He's won two of the last three. He was third last year. Um, Scottie Scheffler hit 3-1. Is that where the value is?
I'm going to be boring, but it's what my tip's going to be for the week. You just said it. Just exemplary course priors here with 2 wins and a third. He first week back last week after an injury, and he led the field in approach by more than a shot. Like he's straight back on it. Like he's not even meant to be here. Like this is like he's come back early. You think, oh, his palm, which is surely going to affect a golfer, is still injured. But he's fucking leading the field in approach. Like it's yeah, it's boring and
It's
it's
very
not the
boring.
funnest bet in the world. But I really think I don't see how he doesn't win, I'm going to have a few of those forecasts that I played last year. Managed to hit a 90 to 1 shot with Colin coming second to him. But
Did you
that's
tip that
where
up on
my.
the podcast?
Uh,
Don't think you did,
I
Heb.
think
Did
no,
to a
I
winner all
don't.
season, so you can have tipped you up.
No, I mentioned it, but I didn't put it up as like as part of my 10 points. But yeah, I can't see like JT had a good tournament, but hasn't had a the couple's not being that great. Decky the same. Sung Jae missed the cut for us in the one and done. Burns, I don't think he's not playing well.
Very no
Fifth
different.
favorite.
You'd say, argue that Tom Kim's probably he's
Yeah,
probably bigger than he should be. He's best price 33 to 1 with Betfred. He's 28 to 1. Sky Bet 8 places. He looks probably he shouldn't be double the price of 2.5 times like Justin Thomas at 11 to 1 comparatively.
no, played really well. And he doesn't miss putts when he's in the game, right? His sort of mindset whenever he gets into like team golf or whatever, he just seems to hit every single putt from 9 foot when he's on and when he has to. Um, yeah, I think he's probably the danger from the rest of the top eight. I would say he's the best option out of them, but I don't know. Scotty could win this by a field goal or a touchdown even.
He could. I mean, I don't think he represents value at 3 to 1. He's the most likely winner. That kind of goes without saying. Whether you want to back him at 3 to 1, whereas you could back somebody at say 40s, 45. So again, 365 will offer a lot of places for a little bit of a shorter price. I don't think that's necessarily the best value option. Somewhere like uh, we were discussing off air, Christian Bezuidenhout is a guy I've kind of followed up for the best part of God 5 years now.
Yeah,
I remember backing him at huge prices for the players. 2020, um,
well, he's back out
Hideki,
there.
Hideki started out 8 under and Bezzy finished 7 under. And I'm on the way to the golf. I'm on my way to the darts in wherever, Liverpool that night. And obviously they play the round. Did they cancel the round after
Yeah, it was the COVID.
halfway through? Yeah, but I don't even think, look, I think those early starters all finished and then they just cancelled it.
Yeah, they didn't even finish the
And that
round.
was 5 years ago. And he's still not had that big breakthrough win. Um, he's won a couple of times when the DP World Tour goes to South Africa, but he's mainly been playing in America the last 2 years, 18 months. He was second to, was he second in this last year or the week before? He's been
Nick
second.
Taylor was.
No, he was second to somebody shit who won. And
Um,
Mexico?
Charlie Hoffman coming second, unless he came tied second with Hoffman. Or it
I'll
was a
come,
free man
he'll come to
playoff
him
or
time,
something.
but
But
he's not on
Nick
that big
Taylor,
win. He was
yeah,
12 under, three off the lead, going really well on Saturday evening, and he finished the last three holes. He finished bogey, bogey, treble bogey. He made a snowman with an 8 at the par five. It's those errors. You presume he will stamp out those out of his game eventually. He's 71 and 70 to 1 in 12 places. He's probably on the big side. A couple of those that have kind of gone overlooked this year. Lucas Glover played really well last week. I'm sure you'll tell me about approach play, but watching
he's
the
up there.
golf live, his second shot seems to be very, very good proximity wise. Um, he's another guy I consider as like a big tee to green place. A guy who's got a great record in what I'd call like it's not Texas, it's Phoenix, it's Arizona. But and this time of the year, in February through April, Jordan Spieth generally has an unbelievable record this time of year. He's 66 to 1.
He's
I know
just back
Spieth,
from a wrist injury.
he's had
There's a lot of.
surgery, but so Scotty. He's
Yeah, but
22.
apparently I was hearing today on a different podcast that Spieth's wrist injury was like the worst possible kind you could get.
Oh, really?
Uh,
Okay.
whereas like Scott's was just like a palm. But
Well,
yeah,
we were
although he
just
had a
saying
good
about
last round at Spieth, I think it was 500 on the Sunday at Pebble.
we were just
So
talking about
maybe
10 years ago. I think Hep and I were still living together in Spain. If you'd have told me 10 years ago, Jordan Spieth had just won after that 2015 season, he's just won one more major, and he'd be 66 to 1 for a tournament like this, you'd be talking absolute nonsense.
won me a bike at the Masters, didn't he?
Like, I mean, he set the course record, didn't he, at the Masters that year? He then won the PG. He won the US Open the year after. Oh, no, he's on for the Slam, wasn't he? He won the US Open the same year. Because I was on Dustin Johnson had an eagle putt and three putt at 18, and Spieth won by one. I was on Brandon Grace at huge prices, like two,
Huge price.
200, 250s. And the 16, how do you remember this twig? Chambers Bay, I think. 16's a drivable par four, and Brandon hits it out of bounds. He was tied to the lead at the time. And because you're back in anti-post, quarter the odds first five, he makes bogey or double bogey at that hole. And then bogey 17 or 18, and he finishes like tied eighth. No place money, no nothing. Golf is the cruelest sport in the world, betting wise. Like if you'd have followed the DP World Tour on Sunday, Tapio Paul Cannon was tied for the lead and ended up going in the water two of the last three tee shots, having looked like he might have been on the verge of a playoff or even like collecting, dare I say, the winner's purse. He ended up how far did he finish down in the end? I don't want to talk about Pablo, but Paul Cannon ended up finishing tied 13th. Oh,
Are we not talking about Pablo?
ah,
Another
Pablo
beat.
Larrazabal grinded out brilliantly and three putted 18th to make bogey to lose the lead and go into a playoff and hit his tee shot at the first playoff fall into the water. In fairness, he took a drop and he hit his third to like 5 foot, absolutely stiffed it. Tight green, big vamos, and I missed the putt. Um, so
Is he going on the cunt list?
Laurie Cantor had two putts from 4 feet to win him in the birdie. So fair play to him. He's favourite this week in in Qatar. Ludicrous price. Won't go anywhere near him at 12 to 1. But the volatility that Francesco Laporta was tied for the lead as well. He ended up going in the water and he ended up finishing tied. My God, where did he he finished tied 13th as well on 11 under. If you've backed those guys at big prices, I think Laporte was around 66 to 1, Paul Cannon 80 to 1. If you've backed them 12 places and they're tied to the lead with a few holes left and they don't even get the placement, the rage you must feel.
I was
Like,
getting a bit worried at Rosie on the back nine on the
nice move.
yesterday, but
He grinded him up.
yeah,
But even I've always mentioned you the guy called Robinson Thompson, who was, um, God, he ended up finishing. I told you the 16, the par three, he went flag hunting. And to be fair, I've spotted this from him for about 12, 18 months. He gets too excited. I think he short sided himself. I think he made double bogey that hole if he's finished 12 because he was on 14 under. Um, and this Marshall Schneider was another one. He was one off the lead with 5 holes left. He's not collected the place money. Golf is just so hard.
like you back these 170, 100 to 175 to ones. You're loving it. You're in pole position and closing group or whatever on Sunday, and it still comes down to a 50-50 putt. Like every time, they never go away and win by 3 shots and make it easy. You just have it always comes down to some other cunt, some other prick out there at 50 to 1 playing just as well, and that's all that needs to beat you. It's just that one man out of 140, and yeah, you just feel robbed at the end of it. You're like, oh, I've really picked out this 125 to 1 well, and he just loses by a shot when he misses a 6 foot.
Yeah, I think there's a guy I backed at huge price. Joe Concure. He's like the French guy who's kind of Korean, and he was tied fourth or fifth entering at halfway. And then on the Saturday, he was four over after the first like 5 holes. He ended up battling back and um, but he ends up finishing like tied 40th. But it's just the volatility of these players. Like Callum Tarran had the lead entering the last round. He's finishing tied eighth, but
We
he
really
was
should just lay any person that gets the lead right in on the DP. Just
you'd mix. There's a guy called
yeah,
Steve the punter on Twitter. He's the golf betting expert for Betfair, and he says all the time like such is the way of this tournament. You can make good money laying anything around say 3-4 to 1. Yeah,
yeah.
Robinson
Anything
Thompson.
that gets the 3 to 1, just lay it off.
Robinson Thompson He had a putt. He needed a birdie at 18 for 59 on the first round. He made bogey, and he was still 70. He was still 5-1 favorite on the exchange. It was like he's not winning this week's tournament. Just if you know anything about golf, just because he's had a great first round doesn't necessarily. And what was he? He was like three over
Yeah,
in a second. It's a bizarre sport, but we'll see. I will keep the faith with Betty this week. Have anything at bigger prices that you might point our listeners towards, given the fact we had an influx last week?
I think the obvious one, Nick Taylor. I don't know if you mentioned him already. I can't remember, but obviously he finished. He won it last year and finished second the year before that. So he's obviously got a lot of course form and won pretty recently as well. He's a bit of a finisher, Taylor. Like compared to the people around him,
That's fair.
um, that like you do not win tournaments but contend. At least he does. He does finish sometimes. And then Billy Ho as well. Really good last round from Billy at Pebble. I think was it an 8 under or something he shot, or six to get right up there.
Mhm.
Definitely sort of course I can see him being involved in at 66 is yeah, a couple of good shouts. The people I have bet to forecast with Scheffler was Scheffler to beat Nick Taylor at 200 to 1. I think it's 150s for the dual forecast. I mean, but is Taylor going to beat Scheffler? And then um, Sepp Stracker as well. Was he playing really well with a win and whatever he finished last week? Again, another 125 forecast with him and Scheffler. So yeah, those two are the ones I've bet to come second to Scheffler. But
A guy I was having a
yeah,
look at it earlier, and I don't think he'll win. But Matthew Pavon was something like 50, 66s for a lot of tournaments in the back end of last season. He's 250 to 1 with 12 places. That's probably too big. He's had a really poor start. I think he ended up with finishing two over at Pebble Beach. Really poor last round. He's probably too big. But I do like a guy I've mentioned a few times, Nico Acavaria, the Colombian guy.
pronunciation.
He's sí, well, sí, estoy en Gibraltar, ¿no? Sé que es español. And he should have won 3 weeks ago. Fuck me, I've had some bad beats. You mentioned Nick Taylor. Nick Taylor somehow eagles gets a free drop, shouldn't get a free drop, chips in for eagle to force a playoff, and oh my God, I'm just reliving that now. Akabari was in the par five on it, the 18th. He's on the green in two, both playoff holes, and Taylor
Yeah,
wins. God, I was going back last year. Ben Coles. All he's got to do is easiest hole on the golf course, 18, get up and down. He makes a five. He made a six, didn't he? Jesus Christ. That was when Aaron Wright won. What was the other one? Grazer Man. He's two. No, that was the one against Aaron Wright. He's two clear.
Pendriff was the other
No,
one.
he's four clear with 8 holes to play, and he makes a fucking quad bogey. God,
Of course, not your sport, was he?
Grazer Becavaria, Lara Tharbord. They just stop backing all these long names. Just back
I
somebody's
mean, Bez, it's just drawn in by the long
the
name.
Zudenhout. Yeah, keep it simple. Chris Kirk. Nice and simple. No fussing. What price are you, Kirky? 66 to 1, 12
Yeah,
places. That'll do.
on a guy with two syllables like Jake Knapp, 150s, played really
Chris.
well last week at Pebble.
Oh,
Uh,
Kirk's even been
not
pushed
sure
out.
where.
Now 70 to 1, 12 places. That'll do, Piggy. That'll do. Chris Kirk. There's you. I can't back Keith again. Sorry, Keith.
No,
I,
Keith
I,
is.
I I dipped my toe in the water and we're off the Keith Mitchell hype
It's
train.
not fun, is it? It's not fun.
It's not fun. It's just really boring. Denny McCarthy's another one where you think you presume he's gonna make lots of birdie putts, but the problem is his second shot's really shit, and those 9 footers are for par rather than birdie. So we get rid of. I do like Billy. I do like. I don't understand the hype and the money behind Matt Fitzpatrick. I think he's very brave. Um,
He played
following
well.
him. So we're going to go Akavaria. We're going to go Chris Kirk. I think we're going to keep it simple. 3 points each way, Chris Kirk. 70 to 1, 12 places, and 2 points each way on Nico Akavaria. Um, Very promising young player. He's got a big future, and he is 100 to 1 with 12 places. I'm just looking for a bit of place money. Scotty probably wins. Good luck to him. Not for me at 3 to 1. Hep, good luck to you.
I'll take it. I'm grinding this year after the Rose win has put me in the positive. I'm just going to grind another 30 points off Sky or 24 or whatever it is.
But not a positive for the duration of the podcast. So we move on to the commercial Qatar
Like,
Masters. Have you had a look? Have you had a look at all anything DP related?
I have not known that this is your forte.
Laurie Cantor, 12th to 1 market leader, dodged like the plague. They kept talking like him. Oh my God, he's won on before on tour. He won a teams event like 2 years ago. Like it doesn't count. It's like saying
Or special.
The Zurich Classic of New Orleans counts as a major. That's for you, Marv. Um, he's very short. And if you look at anything around the under 40 to 1, like Julian Guerrier, Guido, Antoine Rosner. I was speaking to a friend of mine on Sunday, and he's like a very casual. He's a Scottish guy, right? So he's obviously a golf fan.
Oh,
Very,
Scottish friend.
very. And he's a dad's friend. He's a very casual, and he goes, I had a look at I had a look at the European Tour leaderboard. Who the fuck is Antoine Rosner and Jordan Smith and Jorge Campillo? Fucking hell, what is this? Like the third string tour, pretty much, yeah. Hence why we look at things at bigger prices. So somebody like I can't look at Pablo. Get off the screen. Bern Wiesberger has transitioned back after going back from Live. He's paid his fines. He's 60 to 1. He's a big price. It gets really windy in Qatar. You need those that can cope with the conditions. He's a big price. As is Marcus Schindhult, Swedish fella. I don't think he's got the bottle to win. He's thrown away some really good positions, but he's 60 to 1 with 12 places. Adrian Ategi is now a Dubai resident, or is it UAE? He's changed his nationality. He's another one about 80 to 1. But if you look down the list, someone like the lads who got unlucky last week, Marcel Schneider, Tapio Polkanen, they're 90 to 1 and 100 to 1 to get in the first dozen. When the pressure's off, there's a much better chance that they're actually going to place. Mentioned 2 weeks ago, Abby Barnett was 200 to
Got
1.
the rat.
200 to 1 for,
Yeah.
and then after one good week, he was suddenly 66 to 1. And now this week he's back out to 140. So we dodged the rat last week. He missed the cut. But Abby Barnrett's a very big price. But if you are a follower of the DP World Tour, just trading money and you can't not make money because everyone's arse goes and that when they're anywhere near the leaderboard, and that's why they're playing in Qatar and they're not playing in Phoenix.
Very true.
Very true. Hey, summarize, give us your picks. Gives you 10 points to finish off with.
Eight wins Scotty, one Scotty over Taylor,
That is
200,
embarrassing.
one Scotty over Stracker at 125s.
Absolutely. I'm going to clip this up and send it to Marv just so he'll have a go at you.
Well, why? If you think he's going to win, what's wrong with that?
How much are you actually going to back him this week?
I'm backing him with these.
No, I back the forecast. No, he's just that much of a good thing. I'm not going to back him myself. Judge. 3 points each way, Chris Kirk, 66 to 1. 2 points each way, Nico Akabaria, 100 to 1. Both 12 places, we bet 365. One of them place, and he earns a lot more money than Scottie Scheffler at 3 to 1 for the Phoenix Open. I've been Jack Miller. He has been one half of the Sticky Bandits. Marv will hopefully be with us next week and out of exile.
Fucking be.
And back from the flu. See you next week and good luck. Be lucky. Hi, guys.
Love you.